Attacks on conservatives ramping up. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens just the latest in a string of verbal and physical assaults as they're harassed by Antifa protesters at breakfast. Why haven't Democrats denounced this violence? Here to debate is GOP strategist Jen Kearns and Democratic strategist Jason Nichols. Thank you both for being here this morning. Jason, how is this type of behavior okay?
I don't think it is okay, but I do think that the Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk situation should be put in a different category.
Why?
People keep trying to attach it to Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters was very clear that she was talking about members of the administration. Also, this is highly dubious. All of a sudden, Antifa has Charlie Kirk's entire itinerary. They show up flanked by police. It just seems a little strange to me that it happened that way. But I definitely think that we need to get back to civility in our country, get back to decent conversation without having to confront each other in those same kind of ways.
Well, in fairness, Jen, Maxine Waters did say if you see them at restaurants, and yes, she wasn't specifically talking about Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens, but it's up for interpretation how people want to take that.
She said the cabinet members. That's
what I just said. I said she didn't specifically say Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. If you heard me, I said what she said, though, can be up for interpretation by other people in the community. Jen.
Yeah, you know, and to say, well, they're cabinet members or not is simply splitting hairs here. Look, I wish Democrats would take more of Jason's position here, this return to civility. Look, Americans are going to be able to choose this November whether they want to live in Maxine Waters' America or President Trump's America. In President Trump's America, you can easily find a job, enjoy once-in-a-lifetime tax relief, get pay raises like 3 million people just did over last Christmas break. Or in Maxine Waters' America, you can't go out and sit for a meal with friends and family. And I'll tell you what, we really have to think in this country, what's going to happen next? How far is this going to go? Is a brick going to go through someone's window? Is an American flag going to be burned on somebody's front lawn? I tell you, people like Representative John Lewis, I think, should be the ones speaking out here. If you look at what our parents went through and their generation in the 1960s civil rights movement and the free speech movement, that's not what that generation was all about in the Democratic Party. But now Democrats seem to be awfully quick to turn a blind eye when the violence and the lack of free speech is happening on the other side. It's a very sad statement. And for people like Representative John Lewis, who fought for young African-American women to have a voice, not stand up for people like Candace Owens, I think is a real tragedy for the Democrat Party.
And Jason, correct me, I mean, I could be wrong, but to my knowledge, we haven't seen this from the other side. We haven't seen Republicans attacking Democrats like this as they're out at restaurants, as they're out in the public trying to enjoy a meal. You had it happen to Sarah Sanders. You had it happen to Kirstjen Nielsen. You had it happen to Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. All of these examples while they're sitting there having a meal.
So, well, I would say that the lack of civility that we were referring to starts with the president and some of the tweets that he sent out, some of the things that he said. He just attacked LeBron James unfairly. He's done a lot of things that have created this environment for discord in our political discourse. So I think that's part of it. The other thing that I would point out, since you mentioned John Lewis and the civil rights movement, is Candace Owens, who is essentially a racism denier. When she got put under pressure, she reached into her fancy Louis bag and she pulled out a shiny old race card.
That's not
and put
fair.
It on and played it. Oh, it's absolutely fair. That's exactly what happened.
That's not fair. Jen,
right there,
that's absolutely
the
what
typical
happened.
Democrat playbook. Alinsky's rules for radicals make it personal and attack the victim. Democrats do it time and time again. It's really shameful.
Absolutely not. And that's exactly what the president did to LeBron James. He did it to Maxine Waters. He did it to Don Lemon.
Excuse me, we do have to run, but just final thing here. Attacks in person as somebody is out enjoying a meal with family, with friends, with coworkers is very different than what you might be saying on social media. It is different. Jen, Jason,
people were attacked at Trump
thank you for
rallies
your
all
time.
the time.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.